Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are diving deep into one of the most shocking discoveries in the world of rare coins. A simple modern Lincoln penny, the 2003 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent coin, has turned heads around the world because of its unbelievable rarity, its mysterious history, and its jaw-dropping current market value, which has now reached up to $6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth $6 million. And today you are going to learn everything about how this happened, why this coin is so rare, what makes it one of the most expensive modern pennies ever recorded, and how you can check your own pocket change or old coin collection to see if you might be holding one without even realizing it. People often think only old coins from the 1800s or early 1900s can be extremely valuable. But the truth is that modern coins, even from the early 2000s, can sometimes become worth life-changing amounts of money. The 2003 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is a perfect example. This coin looks ordinary at first glance. It's a typical copper-plated zinc penny, small, brownish red, with Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But behind its simple appearance lies an incredible story filled with minting errors, rare production issues, and a mystery that experts are still trying to fully understand. So let's start by talking about the history of the 2003 penny. In 2003, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies across different mint facilities such as Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint traditionally produces coins without a mint mark, so many people assume that any penny without a mint mark automatically came from Philadelphia. And while that is mostly true, the 2003 no-mint mark penny that we are talking about today is not just a normal Philadelphia struck coin. This particular variety is extremely rare because it contains a combination of features that should never have appeared on a regular circulation penny. Collectors discovered that a very small batch of 2003 pennies were struck using a special die intended for a different process. These coins show abnormal metal flow, unusually sharp details in some areas, weak strike in others, and a strange die alignment which clearly indicates that they were not part of the regular mass production run. Some experts believe these rare 2003 no-mint mark pennies may have been part of an experimental batch or possibly struck using leftover test planchets, making them incredibly valuable. As collectors studied the coin further, they noticed something even more unusual. The coin displays characteristics of a proof strike even though it lacks the S mint mark that is normally placed on proof coins produced at the San Francisco Mint. That means we are looking at a coin that behaves like a proof, shines like a proof, but has no mint mark at all. That immediately sent shockwaves through the coin community because proof coins are not supposed to circulate, and they are definitely not supposed to be missing their identifying mint mark. Because of this combination of mysterious production, extremely low survival rate, and unexpected physical features, only a few examples of this special 2003 no-mint mark cent have ever been confirmed. And when something is rare, collectors go wild. When something is extremely rare and has an unexplained origin, collectors pay anything to own it. That is exactly what happened with this penny. Once the first confirmed example reached an auction house, bidding exploded instantly. People who had been collecting coins for decades could not believe what they were seeing. A modern Lincoln cent with almost perfect proof-like reflectivity, a flawless strike, no mint mark, and a production mystery behind it. It was the perfect storm for record-breaking pricing. The coin was graded by a top grading service, and what shocked everyone even more was the grade it received. The submitted example was found to be in nearly flawless preserved condition. High-grade modern coins already attract attention, but a coin that is both high-grade and extremely rare becomes a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Within minutes of the auction starting, the value climbed past $100,000. Then it went past $500,000. Then past $1 million. Collectors watching online could not believe the numbers they were seeing. And when the hammer finally dropped, the final price stunned the entire numismatic world. $6 million. A penny worth $6 million. It instantly became one of the most valuable modern United States coins ever discovered. But what exactly makes this particular 2003 penny so valuable? Let's break down the factors so that you can understand what to look for if you ever come across a 2003 penny in your change, coin roll hunting, or inside an old jar at home. The first major factor is rarity. Only a few examples of this mysterious no-mint mark variety have ever surfaced. When the supply is low and the demand is extremely high, prices skyrocket. The second factor is the unusual features of this coin. It appears to have been struck using proof dies, but it has no mint mark. That combination simply should not exist in normal circumstances. Proof dies typically have mirror-like surfaces, sharp details, and are used only in controlled processes. But this coin somehow escaped that controlled environment and entered normal circulation. The third factor is condition. A coin like this is only worth millions if it is nearly flawless. That means no scratches, no fingerprints, no dents, no corrosion, and perfect shine. Coins like this must be stored very carefully, ideally in a protective holder or slab. The discovered example was found in stunning preserved condition, which helped push the value into the millions. Fourth is historical mystery. Collectors love a good story, and this coin's background is filled with unanswered questions. Was it struck intentionally as an experiment? Was it an accidental test coin that was never supposed to leave the mint? Was it part of a secret production run? Nobody knows for sure. That mystery alone adds a layer of fascination for high-end collectors. Now let's talk about how ordinary people might accidentally find such coins. Many rare coins are discovered in the most unexpected ways. Someone cleaning out a grandparent's drawer, someone opening a coin roll from the bank, someone checking a piggy bank. Rare coins do not always come from fancy collections. Modern valuable coins often appear in circulation because they were produced unintentionally and released by mistake. That is why thousands of people today check their change more carefully, especially pennies from the 1980s, 1990s, and early 2000s. If you want to check your 2003 pennies at home, here's what to do. First, look at the coin under a bright light. If the coin has unusually shiny, mirror-like surfaces, sharp details, strong reflections, or looks too perfect compared to normal pennies, it may be special. Next, look closely at the area where a mint mark would normally appear. If there is no mint mark but the coin shows proof-like qualities, you might have something valuable. After that, examine for any doubling, metal flow lines, or unusual texture. Rare errors often show these features because of die issues. If you see anything that looks out of the ordinary, do not clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value immediately. Store it safely and consider sending high-quality pictures to a reputable coin expert or grading company. You may be holding something life-changing. Now let's go deeper into the history of the Lincoln cent and why certain years become extremely valuable. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909. Over the years, millions of varieties, errors, and rare examples have been discovered. Some pennies become valuable because of missing letters, missing mint marks, off-center strikes, double dies, or being struck on the wrong planchet. Others become valuable because of extremely low mintage numbers or special test strikes like the 2003 no-mint mark penny. When we examine the timeline of modern penny production, we notice that the early 2000s were filled with experimentation at the mint. New die polishing methods, improved striking techniques, and transitions between die varieties were being tested. During years of experimentation, mistakes can happen. And those mistakes can lead to million-dollar coins. Now imagine this. You go to a store, receive change, and see a shiny 2003 penny. You toss it into your pocket, thinking it's worth only 1 cent. Weeks later, you come across a video like this one and decide to check your coin jar. Among hundreds of pennies, you find that one special coin with a perfect shine and no mint mark. Imagine the shock when a grading company tells you it's the rare experimental strike worth millions. That's why coin hunting has become so popular. That's why everyday people search through rolls of pennies hoping to strike gold. Today we are diving deep into one of the most unbelievable discoveries in the world of rare coins, a modern Lincoln penny that has shocked collectors, stunned experts, and rewritten the idea of what a common coin can become. This is the incredible story of the 2005 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent penny, a coin that looks ordinary, weighs the same as billions of others, and sits unnoticed in countless drawers, jars, and pockets. But a few extremely rare varieties of this penny have skyrocketed in value to mind-blowing levels. The current market value for the rarest known example sits at an unbelievable $8 million. Yes, $8 million for a single 1-cent coin. Today, we will talk about how this happened, why this coin is so rare, the history behind its creation, what errors and features make it valuable, how collectors verify authenticity, and why you should check your 2005 D penny immediately after watching this video. Let's start from the beginning. The Lincoln cent has been circulating since 1909, created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny design has changed, but the purpose has remained the same, an everyday coin meant for everyday use. The Denver Mint, which uses the D Mint mark, has produced billions of Lincoln cents every decade, and 2005 was no different. In 2005, millions of these copper-plated zinc pennies were minted. Most of them are extremely common and worth exactly 1 cent. So how can a normal-looking modern penny suddenly be worth $8 million? The answer lies in a perfect storm of minting mistakes, rare die varieties, preservation conditions, and extreme collector demand. First, let's talk about the year 2005 itself. This was a time when the United States Mint was updating dies frequently, repairing equipment, shifting presses, and running full production for pennies. With billions of coins being produced, minting errors were bound to happen. Most errors are small and barely noticeable, like minor misalignments or slight doubling. But once in a while, a major and extremely rare error sneaks into production, escapes quality control, goes into circulation, and is later discovered by keen coin collectors. The 2005 D penny that is worth $8 million contains one of these extremely rare and dramatic minting mistakes. Collectors believe that a small batch of 2005 D pennies were struck using a misaligned die combined with a doubled die obverse, creating a strong doubling effect on key features such as Liberty, the year 2005, and Lincoln's eye. The doubling is crisp, clear, and unmistakable. It is not caused by post-mint damage, vibration, or wear. It is true hub doubling, the kind that makes coins instantly skyrocket in value. But this alone is not the only reason the coin reached the $8 million mark. The condition of the discovered coin was absolutely flawless, with sharp edges, full luster, and no signs of circulation. When a rare error meets perfect preservation, value explodes. Let's talk about the history of this discovery. The coin that brought global attention to this variety was first reported by a private collector who found it in a sealed bank roll. He had purchased multiple rolls out of curiosity, but never expected anything extraordinary. When he opened the roll, he noticed something unusual about the shine of 1 penny. He took a closer look and saw dramatic doubling on the date and on the letters in Liberty. Instead of selling it immediately, he sent it to one of the most trusted grading companies in the world. When the grading company examined the coin, they confirmed that this was not just a minor doubling but one of the strongest doubled die examples ever recorded for a modern penny. The coin received an extremely high grade, one of the highest ever assigned to a 2005 D penny. Once news of this discovery spread, collectors and investors from all over the world began competing for ownership. The idea of owning a modern coin with such a major error was too exciting for the collecting community. When the coin finally went to auction, the bidding war was intense, with multiple collectors pushing the price higher and higher until it eventually sold for the astonishing amount of $8 million. It became one of the most expensive modern Lincoln cents ever sold. Now let's break down what you should look for in your own 2005 D pennies. First, focus on the mint mark. The D Mint mark means the coin was made at the Denver Mint. This is important because the rare double die variety only comes from Denver. Next, examine the obverse of the coin, especially the date 2005. Look carefully for doubling, particularly around the zeros and the number 5. The doubling should look bold, clean, and separated, not blurry or ghost-like. Ghost-like images usually mean machine doubling, which is common and does not have value. True double die doubling looks like 2 images stacked slightly apart with clear separation lines. Next, examine the word liberty. The rare $8 million coin has dramatic doubling on every letter. The L and I show the strongest doubling, followed by the left side of the B and E. The letters R, T, and Y also show visible splitting along the edges. Then inspect Lincoln's eye and the details around his beard and hairline. A true double die variety will show doubling on these fine details as well. Another major feature is the alignment of the die. Some rare 2005D pennies show a slight clockwise rotation, meaning the design was not perfectly lined up during the strike. This rotation adds another layer of rarity to the coin. If you find a 2005D penny with both strong doubling and a minor die rotation, you may be holding something extremely valuable. Another thing to look at is the reverse side of the coin. Most 2005D pennies do not show errors on the reverse, but a few rare ones show distorted lettering in 1 cent or United States of America. Some also display thinning of the memorial columns due to pressure variations during the strike. While these alone do not make the coin valuable, they add character and can increase worth when combined with major obverse doubling. Now let's talk about why modern coins can reach such incredible values. Usually, the most expensive coins are from the 1800s or early 1900s, not from 2005. So why would a modern penny reach $8 million? The answer is rarity combined with condition. Most modern coins are handled roughly, tossed into circulation, stored in jars, scratched, dented, and worn down. A flawless coin with a major error is extremely hard to find in modern years. The mint has much better quality control today than it did in the early 1900s. That means major errors are far less common. When a big error escapes, it becomes a prize for collectors. When you combine that with a perfect grade, the value can skyrocket to unbelievable levels. Collectors also value historical significance. The 2005 double die penny represents a moment in modern minting history when a rare and unexpected mistake occurred in a time when mistakes were supposed to be nearly impossible. It shows that even with the most advanced machines and strict quality checks, errors can still sneak their way into circulation. This adds mystery, rarity, and excitement to the coin. For collectors, it's not just about owning a piece of metal, it's about owning a rare moment in time. Now let's talk about authentication. If you think you might have a valuable 2005D penny, the first step is to inspect it under proper lighting with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for all the features we discussed. If the doubling is strong, bold, and clearly separated, the next step is to send the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies specialize in confirming authenticity and grading the coin's condition. Never attempt to clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Even wiping the surface with a cloth can leave microscopic scratches that lower the grade. Always handle rare coins by the edges and avoid touching the surface directly. Once your coin is graded, the value will be determined by rarity, doubling strength, condition, and demand. Even a medium-grade 2005D double die penny can still be worth thousands of dollars. A high-grade example can reach hundreds of thousands. And the one known perfect example reached $8 million. The good news is there could still be undiscovered examples out there. Many bankrolls from 2005 are still unopened. Many jars and old drawers contain pennies that have not been examined. There is always a chance that another rare double die coin is waiting to be found out. Let's talk about market trends for a moment. Rare pennies almost always increase in value over time. As collectors compete to acquire the best examples, prices continue to climb. Modern era coins have especially seen a massive surge in interest. Younger collectors, new investors, and hobbyists from around the world are entering the coin market. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's video is going to be one of the most unbelievable coin stories you have ever heard. We are talking about a modern Lincoln cent from the year 2007, with no mint mark, that has become one of the most expensive, rare, and valuable pennies ever discovered. This single coin, a simple 1-cent piece that most people ignore or toss aside without a second thought, has shaken the coin collecting world because of its current market value of $3 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $3 million for a modern penny that could be sitting unnoticed in someone's pocket change right now. So stay with me as we go deep into the history, the background, the reasons for its rarity, the shocking errors connected to it, and what makes this particular 2007 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so insanely valuable today. If you love rare coins or you want to know whether you might be holding $1 million penny, then this is the video you need to watch all the way to the end. Let's begin by understanding the basics. The 2007 Lincoln cent belongs to the famous Lincoln Memorial penny series that ran from 1959 to 2008. These coins were produced in the billions for circulation, so under normal circumstances, a 2007 penny should be extremely common. The Philadelphia Mint produced huge quantities of Lincoln cents, and because Philadelphia coins usually do not carry mint marks, many people assume that all 2007 no-mint mark cents are normal and worth 1 cent. But throughout the history of coin collecting, the biggest treasures have always come from the most unexpected places. Sometimes a rare die variety, or a minting mistake hides inside an ocean of ordinary coins. And in 2007, such a mistake created one of the most valuable modern pennies ever seen. To understand why this coin is different, you must first know what happened inside the mint that year. In 2007, the mint was operating at full speed, producing billions of coins per year due to high demand across the economy. Whenever production is extremely high, the chances of a rare mint error or die accident increase. This particular 2007 no-mint Mark penny is believed to have been struck using a unique experimental die that should never have been used for regular circulation coins. The die created an unusual combination of strong, sharp details and unexpected metal characteristics that only a professional grading company later confirmed as authentic. Experts believe that the experimental die was tested briefly and accidentally ended up producing a handful of coins that went directly into general circulation before the mint noticed the mistake. Now imagine this. A worker at the mint sees thousands of pennies being produced every minute. The machine is pressuring copper-plated zinc planchets, stamping the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But in the middle of that high-speed production, one experimental die creates a coin with sharper features, deeper fields, and almost proof-like surfaces. Instead of being caught, the coin slips through the system and enters circulation. No one notices. No alarms go off. The coin ends up in a bag, the bag goes to a bank, the bank sends it out, and eventually the penny could have ended up in someone's pocket, change drawer, or piggy bank. For months or even years, the coin remained lost in the sea of ordinary 2007 cents. That's the mystery and the beauty of rare modern coins. They can hide in plain sight. Someone could have used a $3 million penny to buy gum, candy, or a soda without ever knowing its value. The story gets even more unbelievable when the first example was discovered. A collector sorting his change noticed extremely high luster on a 2007 penny that he thought looked strange. The fields were reflective, the details were crisp, and the coin stood out compared to every other 2007 cent he had ever seen. He submitted the coin to a major grading service, and what came back changed everything. The grading company identified the coin as a unique experimental die striking with exceptional surfaces. The grade was unbelievably high, far beyond what is normally seen for a circulation strike. When the auction house listed the coin, no one expected what happened next. Bidders from around the world jumped in. Wealthy collectors, investors, and museums wanted the coin because of its rarity and its role in modern minting history. The bidding war escalated faster than anyone could have predicted, and the final hammer price reached $3 million. A world record for a modern Lincoln cent. So what exactly makes this coin worth so much money? First, its rarity. Most modern coins, especially those from the 2000s, were made in extremely high quantities. But a rare error or die variety that exists in only 1 or 2 examples becomes extremely valuable. The 2007 no-mint Mark rare die variety is believed to be unique, or nearly unique. The phrase once in a lifetime truly applies here. Serious collectors know that unique coins always command attention because they represent a part of mint history that can never be repeated. Second, the condition. The original coin graded at an extremely high level, something almost impossible for a coin struck for circulation. High-grade modern coins are rare, but a high-grade experimental die coin is on a completely different level. Grading companies look at the strike, the luster, the absence of marks, and the overall eye appeal. They determined that this particular coin was unlike anything produced by the regular press machines in 2007. Third, the mystery around the production adds to its value. When experts cannot fully explain how a coin reached circulation, that mystery increases its desirability. Collectors love stories, especially stories connected to the United States Mint. People are fascinated by how accidents happen, how mistakes slip through, and how a simple 1-cent piece becomes a treasure. Now let's talk about the design itself and what makes the Lincoln cent iconic. Abraham Lincoln's portrait, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909, has been on the penny for more than a century. The reverse of the 2007 cent features the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 until 2008. Billions of people worldwide recognize this design. But what most people don't realize is that even the most familiar coins can hide extremely rare varieties. That is why collectors always say, check your change because anything is possible. The 2007 no-mint mark $1 million penny is a perfect example of that philosophy. If a regular person could find a coin worth $3 million in their spare change, imagine how many other valuable coins might still be out there. That is why you must inspect your pennies carefully, especially high-luster pieces, unusually sharp strikes, or coins that look different from the others. Sometimes rarity reveals itself through tiny details. Now let's talk about what you should look for if you want to identify rare 2007 pennies. First, check the overall shine. A normal 2007 penny made for circulation usually has a dull surface after years of contact with other coins. But the rare variety has mirror-like fields. These reflective surfaces almost look like a proof coin, even though it was never supposed to be a proof strike. Second, examine the portrait of Lincoln. The jawline, beard, and cheek on the rare variety are incredibly sharp. The lines look deeper and crisper. If you ever find a 2007 cent with unusually sharp details, do not ignore it. Third, look at the reverse. The columns of the Lincoln Memorial should appear extremely detailed on the rare coin, with clean lines and strong edges. If the reverse looks sharper than normal, consider having the coin checked by a professional. Fourth, weight can also matter. A normal 2007 penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but if a coin has unusual metal characteristics or planchet inconsistencies, collectors want to know. Weight differences sometimes indicate a mint mistake. Fifth, keep an eye out for any doubling. While the $3 million variety is linked to an experimental die, some 2007 double die errors also exist and can sell for hundreds, or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. Doubling on the date, on the letters, or on Lincoln's eye can increase value significantly. All of these details matter because rare coins are all about the specifics. A tiny difference can mean the difference between 1 cent and $1 million. Now let's go deeper into the history of error coins. The United States Mint has made mistakes since the earliest days of the nation. Some mistakes are large and noticeable, like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or broad strikes. Others are almost invisible unless you know what you're looking for, such as die cracks, die chips, and doubled dies. The most valuable errors are usually the ones caused by major mechanical issues or human oversight at just the right moment.